Welcome to our vlog.
I'm glad we finally figured out that we should Zoom instead of like FaceTiming.
My biggest lesson from COVID is avoid the bear cows. And don't use lemonade to wash your paintbrushes.
All right. Should we get to reacting?
Yay.
I think we should. I love how we just have no care of the world, and we just think that the world's ahead of us.
We didn't have a
We
reason
weren't
to
being
care.
idiot millennials. We didn't know COVID was going on.
Yeah. The only thing we knew was wash your hands and don't touch people who are sick.
And we brought hand sanitizer. Like,
Yeah.
This seems like forever ago.
plot twist, all of those schools ended up going online for the rest of the school year.
Within like 3
Every
days.
school went online for like the rest of the school year.
I had to teach online.
I did, in fact, have to take all my film classes online, even though I wanted to take them in person.
I did not, in fact, have graduation.
I'm pretty upset that my frontal lobe spiel didn't make it on here. Insert frontal lobe spiel here.
I mature quite fast. I think it's mainly because since I'm 24 now, my frontal lobe's developed.
Oh my Lanta.
I just have noticed a huge change in my perspective from February 13 to February 15. Like, there's just, I feel so much more at peace, and I just logically can think through things a lot better. And, does that make me less of a sinner? Like, nope. But, yeah, I don't know. Next month.
I love how we think it's just gonna be like the best time ever. Like, we're just gonna hang out for a month straight. It's gonna be amazing.
We have no school.
Gosh, we were like, the Diocese of Phoenix is amazing. They're never gonna cancel Mass. Can I just say that if I could go backwards in time and talk to this girl again, I would slap her because she was an idiot saying things like, if I have to receive on the hands, I'm never going back again. She didn't know that she wasn't going to be able to receive Mass for at least 2 months. Like, I will receive on anything at this point. So, just so you know, I have changed since this video.
I got it today!
She got a diploma!
Diploma.
She also, again, did not have graduation.
Wah, wah.
It's so cool being on the other side of this.
Mhm.
And this was early on, too. Like,
Yeah, and nobody really knew what, like, no one knew what we were doing. No one knew how to handle this besides don't touch people who are sick.
And I don't think any states had closed down at this point.
I said in the beginning, it felt like the virus was chasing us. Like, we went to Disney, 2 days later it closed. We went to Mass on Sunday, the next day we couldn't go to Mass anymore. Like, everything, or like we went to Village Inn and then 3 days later you can't have a gathering more than 10 people. And I'm like,
you went to San Diego and then California closed down.
everything we did, if we did it, like, we didn't make dumb decisions in the moment, but if we had made those decisions 2 days later, then it would be an incredibly dumb decision. So it's like, I promise I'm not making dumb choices. Like, I'm living life, but taking care of myself.
It's just kind of weird to think about how there's some Catholics across the world that they're only able to go to Mass like once a year. And like, they cherish that. And like, we only go like, what, 6 or 8 weeks without Mass, which is still a long time, but like, that's nothing compared to going the whole year and only being able to like receive Jesus once a year. So I don't know, it's kind of cool to like almost join in solidarity with those Catholics, but also like not at all, like also acknowledge that we're only feeling a fraction of what they experience fasting from the Eucharist for that long.
I think it was really easy for us, especially like with us, because we church hopped every Sunday. We maybe like not judged the parishes, but, you know, talked about like things we liked and disliked. It's really easy to fall into feeling entitled to the Eucharist and feeling entitled to the sacraments and feeling entitled to Mass. However, I think that was probably one of the biggest blessings of COVID, was kind of breaking through from that concept. It's crazy how like nowadays, like going to Target is like a huge deal. We're like, I'm going to Target today. Like, yes.
Yeah, I think like later on in the video, Holzer's like, we're going to Target because we can, because like everything else was closing.
Yeah.
What to do, and we need groceries.
This is footage that they have not seen yet.
We haven't seen this yet. I think it's crazy how we just went from in-person vlogs to all of a sudden we're on Zoom. Like, this is the transition.
Did you like my joke, B? No.
There were so many good lines in this.
Oh, God.
many good lines.
If you want to know what my humor is like when I am like on par, that is it. I don't remember vlogging.
We said, screw COVID, we're going outside. We brought one of the worst buddies we ever could. This loser won't even walk.
Do you guys ever just forget that? For trying to say that this was a joke.
Do you guys really not struggle with that? Like, forgetting that the world doesn't revolve around you?
No, but I think, so theory, I think it's because I'm a 9, so I'm just already like hyper aware of like, but this is what somebody else wants. So I do like the opposite.
Who said I'm not smart? No one. Literally
No one.
I would like to say that I don't think I'm as self-conceited as I make myself look, I think.
Holy Week doesn't feel like Holy Week. I feel like Holy Week's been going on for like 3 weeks now.
I think that it actually did feel like Easter. I think it was a grace from the Lord. At least I can speak for myself. But I was going through just all these emotions that I would say are negative emotions. I know that's not a good way to describe it. But like just all the fear and anxiety I was feeling, like the day, not even the day, like the moment around when Easter Vigil would have happened, it was like this instantaneous lift.
Easter definitely felt like something, just one thing was like lifted off my shoulders, that being Lent. But I knew it was Easter. Like my brain was like, it's Easter, but it didn't completely feel like it. Like, yes, I kept some of that like normalcy, but I was like, I want to be there. I want to smell the incense. I want like to, I don't know. It was so close, but like not quite.
And I think like one thing that helped with that feeling was making Good Friday so reverent. I've never held that much reverence on Good Friday, and I've like worked during that time or like done homework or something. I don't know. But I spent like pretty much the whole day praying, and then Holy Saturday, someone in my small group, or my co-leader in my small group, she actually talked about how like kind of the whole like first half of quarantine felt like Holy Saturday because like we didn't have like we couldn't receive Jesus in the Eucharist, and like we couldn't go to mass. So just kind of in that waiting of Holy Saturday of like we are just waiting to receive Jesus, and like we're just waiting to see Jesus face to face again, which is kind of like what they were doing on Holy Saturday. I think I was just like, wow, this does feel like Easter, even though I'm not able to physically receive Jesus, just to be able to receive him through an act of spiritual communion. It felt like this weight had been lifted.
Being 2 months out, 2 to 3 months out, I recognized that life really didn't turn out so bad. I think there were a lot of amazing things that were exposed out of my heart, and also just, I think with all 3 of us, a lot of lessons we learned that had COVID never happened, we would have gone our whole lives not dealing with it. Here we are, and I think that I'm in a better place. Y'all seem like you're in a better place. You can speak for yourselves.
I think it's one of those things where for me it'll take a while, and then I'll realize, oh look, COVID. That's why it is what it is. Point being, after someone has a near-death experience, they then realize like not to take life for granted, and I feel like that in general in quarantine, that's like you shouldn't take it for granted.
I don't have that panic of school and work anymore because I graduated and I have a contract for the time being. So now I'm just in another transitional phase, which I guess is why I feel the same, because like transition to teaching online, transition to living at home again. Now I'm in this transition of living at home and not having work.
I think I'm using your words against you, Mari, but the one thing I remembered or like learned how to do was to take it day by day, yes by yes. In the words of Mari and Esho. Enjoy life as it is, because you never know what tomorrow's going to hold.
I guess the first thing is like, just because we're bored with COVID, like definitely doesn't mean it's over. And I think we're all acknowledging that, and like still following safety protocols, wearing masks to mass, just still like structure. That's my biggest takeaway is structure and discipline, and the importance of having a routine. Obviously be flexible and be kind to yourself. Just having some sort of structure and consistency has been really helpful for me. And in that structure, like having time for prayer and still upholding like the same reverence that you would have during actual physical mass, having that same reverence while watching mass online is super important.
Number one, I'm not entitled to anything. Every single thing in this world is a blessing from the Lord. I'm not entitled to mass. I'm not entitled to work, to friendship time, to anything. Number two, I learned that peace is not dependent on circumstance. I thought that was true. I think we all kind of think that's true to a point, but no, like, you are capable of maintaining peace throughout any circumstance, and it's literally all on you. So as long as you're praying, you can maintain peace. Peace is not dependent on circumstance. The last two are the most important. Number three, avoid bear cows. Number four, don't use lemonade to wash off your paintbrushes. It's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun.
Real fun.
And that is all.
Mic drop.